Good morning. Today is Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. My name is Terry Morgan and we are here to practice Xingyi's 12 Animals. Today we're going to review the movement that we've been working on this week. And I'm going to talk just real quick about what we're going to be doing. Yeah. I just put some drops in my eye to get rid of that. Alright, so what we're going to be doing, as I've been paying attention to what I can record and how that learning works on video, and some of the things that I've been presenting and would like to present. What do I do with that? How do we put that together? I think I have an idea. Alright, so and we're doing this today, and we did it yesterday. And I've actually done this, so might as well make an effort to keep doing it. And that's part of today's lesson, is how to refine that, whatever it is we're doing. Monday, I introduced Dragon Step in Xingyi's 12 Animals linking form. Tuesday, I spent a lot of time analyzing that movement. At there are 2-3 movements about the nature of the movement, what goes on behind the movement, how we do the movement, what energy we bring to the movement, how that all works. Analyze that. Today we're going to refine it. How do we do that? Aha. I have notes. Those are my notes. Little notes. It says, refine movement, refine principles, refine energy. And there's some relationships between them. I'm going to just go ahead. There you go. That's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm not going to post it in this form, but I will put this up. And it will be in the notes for this class as well. I've started doing that. Good, thanks. All right, so as we're paying attention to this idea of refining the movement, what is that? Refining the form. What are we refining? The movement. What we put with the movement. Right? The energy, the chi. And how we, yeah, I'm looking at my notes. How we make those connections. Okay? So, movement, physical movement, refine that. Refine the principles that go with that movement, that go behind that movement. And then refine the energy that goes with. And we're going to take that movement, we're going to connect it with the energy. And we're going to take that movement, we're going to connect it with the principles. And then we're going to connect both of those back down through all three to the connections. So the movement, the principles, the energy, all flow through to the connections that we're making within our forms and within our practice. The principles guide the movement. The principles guide the flow of energy. They guide what we're doing. those relationships, they're fairly simple. There's three things, and we connect this, and we connect that, and we connect these two, and we connect those two. Right? It's not complicated. Once you understand that that's one of the things that we should be trying to do, and that it's worked for me as a method to refine everything that I do. I'm going to put the coffee down when we get started. This connection between the movement and the principles, between the principles and the energy, right? In Xingyi practice, we have a principle of being prompt and sudden. Everything goes. There we go. Right? In Tai Chi, we have the principle of flowing. That ebb and flow, going back and forth. In Bagua, we have the principle of the dynamic of a circle. And it's the circle. It's the principle behind the circle. What is the circle? We are moving almost constantly in some part of a circle, so that as we turn and move around, everything follows that twisting, turning kind of a pattern. These principles guide how we move, right? If I'm doing this kind of thing with my Tai Chi, no. No. Wrong. Okay, that was wrong for anything, really, but, you know. All right, so if I'm doing all of this kind of twisting and turning in my Tai Chi form, I've mushed something that's not correct for Tai Chi. I may use a twist as part of a movement, but the basis, that foundation principle that I want to pay attention to is that ebb and flow. Where does it go? Right? Not you see, I'm hoping that you can see the difference. I'm really trying to show it. And then Xingyi is there. This principle of movement. How should we move? Right? How do we do this? How should we move? What's the principle behind Xingyi? It's that I was not saying anything intentionally. That idea, that's the principle behind. What am I paying attention to? What should I be paying attention to? Okay. What's the intent behind the movement? I talk about that quite a bit. Not only in terms of how you move. What are you doing? Right? So, what am I doing? How do I do it? What am I doing physically? What are the body mechanics behind it? How do I move? How do I use that in this movement? How do I apply that in this movement? How do I move? What's the... How? Foundation for the art gives you that direction. How do I move? Xingyi, prompt, sudden, full, complete. Everything goes all at once, all at the same time, all together for the target. Oh, how do I move? Apply that principle. Oh, wait. We're going to work on that right now. Feet about shoulder width apart. Stand straight. Drop the shoulders. Open the arms. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Bend the knees. Hand circle the front. Back around to both sides. Up along the center line. Reach out. And again. Extend. Roll up through the back. One more. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Xingyi 3 points practice. 45 seconds. Think about the physical, for the first, I'm going to split this up. For the first 15 seconds, think about physical posture. What are your muscles telling you? Next 15 seconds, think about how it feels. This is uncomfortable, this is not, this feels great, this feels not so great, this what? Last 45 seconds. Pay attention to a smile. Seriously. Last 15 seconds. I may have just said 45, I meant 15. Last 15 seconds, pay attention to a smile. Little one, not, okay, just little one. Pay attention to what your face muscles are doing and what that does to change how you feel. 45 seconds each side. Right foot back, left foot front. Ready? Physical posture, pay attention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Pay attention to how you feel. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Little smile, and what does that do? 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and sink. Change, left foot back, right foot front. Same series. Ready and physical posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And change. How does it feel? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and smile just a little. 33, 34, 35, 36, 7, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, sink, and come on up. Alright, the goal, my goal for that series was to introduce this idea of exactly how we refine what we're doing. Physical body, check your posture, check your positions, everything where it should be. It's not trivial. It sounds like it's really simple. It's not. It's not. It's really not. Okay? Notice that I just straightened my back just a little bit. I'm leaning forward and trying to kind of adjust for the angle of the camera, and it ain't working. So I'm just going to step a little bit back. Alright, this idea, refining the movement, knowing what the movement is, and then using it, understanding sufficiently that you can, I know what I'm doing with this, using it, bringing the principle behind. What am I doing here? Am I dancing? If I am, it should look really different than Xingyi. It should. It should. All right. So, what does that mean? Right? We've been working on dragon step, right? So I'm going to do this in context of the form where we've been. I step back here, Pichuan. This been here all week. All right, and up and around, out, down, jump, down, hung chuan. Right? That flow needs to be there. Just a little bit. I'm not doing the jump today. I'm not doing a jump. Sorry. Give me 2 weeks. I'll come back to it. Alright, so we're here. What am I paying attention to? What was I paying attention to? Where did I put strength? Where did you see a beginning and an end for each movement? And I'm fairly sure with this camera there was a part of a blur, sort of, for some of it. That idea, those principles behind strong, prompt, sudden, complete, targeted. Xingyi has got that arrow that we pull back and let it go. Right? That skill takes practice. It takes understanding. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know how to do it. It's not that that level of refinement, of using the least amount of your own energy to complete a much stronger movement by using the dynamic in the movement itself, by using how the body executes that movement. What happened? What did I have to do? I'm here. What did I have to do? Sing during the waist. As I come around, I need to be able to go back far enough, and I made this mistake a couple of times. As I come around here, I have to shift back, because this is the foot that's coming up and going out. Right? That emphasis, how we connect the energy to the movement. If I don't, slow it down. What's the movement? Hand circle, waist turns, shift, sink, extend, and down. Those weight changes can be more subtle, can be more obvious. We're looking for refinement, we're looking for more subtle. Subtle change in the weight, a subtle turn that extends the energy through that movement. We can't do that unless we know what the movement is and we know what the principle behind it is. Now, I mentioned this idea behind Xingyi. Yesterday I talked a lot about how we think about what we're doing in a particular movement and how the form gives us that. Dragon, bear. The movements are not the same. The way a dragon, Western dragon, Chinese dragon, your choice. This is a Chinese dragon actually, so very supple. The way a dragon moves is not the way a bear moves. Supple is not usually a word that we associate with bear. Strong, agile, yeah, they are. Supple, no, not the same. If we think about that as we practice, now I'm checking. All right, right here. Dragon. What's the dragon do? This is a kid's game. What does the cow do? Cow goes moo. What does the dog do? Dog goes woof woof woof. What's the cat do? Cat goes meow. What does the dragon do? Yeah? As we come out of this, right here, change to bear. What's a bear do? Watch my shoulders. Hung Chuan. Step with the left, out to the left. Watch the sand too. Right? That was a dragon. That was a bear. Okay? My thought process changed to Hung Chuan and to the idea that the animal, Xingyi 12 Animals, is a bear. It's the name of the form. Alright. Zhong. As we move into that, the nature, the principle behind, Xingyi stays the same. We're not changing to a different art. We're not going to do some other practice, right? But that idea of suppleness changes to one of more strength. I hope you can see that. I was trying. All right, that idea behind, as we look at refining what we're doing. So, we got the movement. Take it apart. Here's how it works. Here's what we're doing in it. How do we refine it? What's the energy behind it? How do we bring that energy into the movement? Part of it is this sense of how whatever the named creature happens to be would move. They didn't do this by accident, right? It's not my invention. This has been there for, Xingyi, I don't know, 500 years-ish, give or take, maybe a little bit more. Principles behind go back a lot further, but Xingyi as an art, relatively new. Right? Relative, I say relative. The internal arts go back a bit further, right? There's a lot of the ideas, the principles, the things that we're doing. As we pay attention to these principles, what's the nature of this move? We have this idea saying in Hung Chuan that, right, bear, Hung Chuan comes across. It's different than Chuan Chuan, drill. The principle behind, what am I doing in this move? Right? And I do tend to lean back when I do this. I'm going to show you this. You see my head go back. I tend to do that because when I think about it in this context, I think about there's a fist coming at me and I'm going to move my head as well as block. I'm not going to stay here and let it hit me. I don't want to do that. All right, so that sense of what am I doing behind the movement is obvious. Now, should I be doing that? No. There's another way to move out of the way. Here. Right? When I lean back, when I lean back, there is that opportunity, as small as I might allow it to be, there is the opportunity to help me keep leaning back. Unless I'm reacting to something actually coming at me. And even then, this is my own correction here, even then, leaning back, not a good thing. Getting out of the way is a good thing. All right? So, something's coming here. Hung Chuan. If I'm effective here, I stop it. If I'm not, I don't. The other person's stronger than me, they just gonna keep coming. My arm's not that strong. If I don't have the movement dynamic working for me, not gonna happen. Okay? This is person my size, my capability, this is what I can do. Somebody who's 6'5", weighing in at 220, lean for a person 6'5", can do a lot of things with strength that I don't have. I don't. Okay? And if the person's coming at me is 6'5", weighing in at 220, I'm at a big disadvantage. Right? Probably not. Come this way. Here's the dynamic. It's already committed. And that matters. It's committed. It's coming. It can go this way. Even if I miss. Even if my hand doesn't block. I've already moved out of the way. Okay? That mention that I just made of commitment. In movement, there is a point at which we are committed to do the movement that we're doing. It's going to happen. Some version of that movement is going to happen. Okay? I may not have been fully committed. I'll show you this. Here, I'm going to punch with this hand. I'm punch with this hand. Right? Just, Alright, just straight punch. When I do that, right here, I'm not committed to anything. I might be thinking about it. You can see it. Holding the fist, shifting back, you can see it. I'm thinking about it. I really am. I'm not committed. I'm not committed to this movement yet. I could easily shift and do something else. I'm not committed. Here, I'm still not committed. There's greater chance that this fist is going to come out. But I'm still not fully committed. Here, still not fully committed. From this point onward, I'm committed. If I can see that, if I cannot show it to you, right? When I see you're committed, it's really quick. It is not, this is not, take your time, explain, let me show you how. No. Alright? When I see you're committed, that's my opportunity. So, when I talked about here, at this moment, I'm still going back a little bit more. At this moment, I'm committed to leaning. Bad idea on my part. Not a good thing. Not leaning. And all I... Right. Leaning. Not leaning. Tiny difference. Change in the way that I stepped. Change in my body angle. Just a little bit. A little bit. Right? Just a little bit. I'm no longer at a disadvantage, and I'm much more effective. It matters for both how we move, right? That's what I started with, this idea behind our movement. What are we doing? Well, it's martial art, right? It's not dance. And within that, it's Xingyi. mind-body boxing. Form, mind, body, mind boxing. Form, mind boxing. Your choice. Xing, mind, thoughts, ideas. Excuse me. Wrong Xing. Xingyi from Xingyi is the form, the outer shape. Different character. And I will freely admit that when I was first learning, I confused them. Alright? Yi si, yi nian. The idea. Yi and Xing, that thought, have similar and slightly different meaning in the language and the literature. That's why they're different. That's why they're used differently, right? This linguistic difference, language difference, doesn't always get communicated. It gets lost. The two words have similar meanings, so we're going to use this one and this language. But it was two words over here. And they mean something different. How can you just use one word over here? I went through that dilemma, and that is part of this idea, how do we refine what we're doing? There's a body of knowledge that exists if you could read the language. If not, how do we get to it? How do we discover? How do we find out? How do we refine? I'm going to go back and beat up on that a little bit. How do we refine what we're doing if we don't have that full understanding of what it is we're doing? That's one of the things I hope this class and some of the other ones that I'm going to be presenting will address. All right, for today, let's get back to practice. This a couple of times with me. No jump, just walk through it. Right foot back, left foot front. Not too much force, just a little. Right hand up, shift, heel, down, jump, down, step through, again, right foot back, left foot front, sink, down, extend, press down, jump, and down, and step through. One more time. Turn, extend, down, up, down, step through. All right. Relax for a second. Set, extend. That idea behind dragon, complete, full. Everything in good alignment, everything carries through the move to the target. What kind? Dragon, supple, limber. Dragon has claws. Alright? Bear, strong. Right? body strength, right? These ideas carry into the principles behind prompt, sudden, full, complete, and give us the key for how to do the movement. Tai Chi principles are not the same as Xingyi principles. Bagua principles are not the same. Shaolin principles are not the same. Most definitely not the same. All right, that idea. Which art am I practicing? What am I doing? And what are the principles behind this art? Give you the key for how to practice. It's that level of simplicity that says, this is how. Do it this way. Is built on layers. Physical movement, what am I doing? Physical movement, what am I doing? Well, hey, what did I just do? I'm getting my legs ready. Or what did I? Serious? Pay attention. That's important. Get my legs ready. Here we go. All right? Settle. All right, now I'm ready. That's important. That idea behind that I'm going to change from me being a presenter and having a conversation with you to me showing you how to do a movement. There's a change there. There needs to be a change there. Right? That idea is something that needs to be applied to all of the arts. Walk around doing my normal stuff. I'm not practicing right now. I don't want to do that. All right? I'm practicing now. All right? Now I'm going to pay attention. That change is part of how we refine our practice. It's part of how we refine what we're doing. Right foot back, left foot front. Right? Physical movement. Sink and turn. Shift. Extend and down. Come up and down again. Shift. Step through. I kept it slow. Each movement. Where's my placement? Where's my center? Where's the axis of my body? Where's my turning? How can I turn through this move? Where's my weight? Where's my center? Here in the dantian for this one. Right? Where is the point of emphasis? Where is the point at which I've committed to this move? You see it when I'm going slowly, right? All of those ideas go behind. What's the principle? I'm going to stop with dragging. What's the principle behind dragging? Right foot back, left foot front. Dragging. Drag. What's the principle? That goes with dragging. Now, I'll slow it down just a little bit. Ready? All right, I'm ready to step. I have enough force, enough momentum to carry me forward. I'm going. Xingyi keeps going. There's no back and forth like Tai Chi. That principle. Tai Chi. Brushing. Nice and easy, back and forth. A little more aggressive, but still that sense of ebb and flow. That's the principle that Tai Chi asks us to pay attention to. I don't care what style of Tai Chi it is, that principle exists. It belongs there. It doesn't belong in Xingyi. Not in the same way. We return. But it's not necessary. It's not in the same manner. And it's not for the same purpose. Xingyi will pull in that sense of pull in, and let it go. That arrow and releasing it is part of the nature of Xingyi. We apply it to the movement. The nature of Tai Chi has that sense of purpose and direction, but the way that we move is different. How we apply that principle. What are we doing? What art are we practicing? This is not dance class, right? I talk about that a lot. Using the foundation that dance gives us to understand the dynamic and the direction of the movement. Direction of the movement, right? I'm here, hands come up. The dynamic of that movement depends on our internal practice. I'm here. Again. What you see right now, I'm going to show this a couple of different ways. What you see right now is my hands moving. My hips are barely moving. Right? Not enough. Watch here. Oh! Just that. Sink into it as you bring it around. Gives you more strength. If your stance is solid, the physical dynamic here works really well. The internal work, pay attention, this hand, right? I exaggerated it. I mean, try again. That turn, right here. A little bitty. I'm going to exaggerate it again. Spin and up. What that should look like. Oh, you didn't see the movement, did you? You might have. If you were paying attention, you might have. That idea behind. How do we do this movement? What am I doing here? How do I bring the energy, the dynamic that belongs with that movement? What's the dynamic? What's the physical direction that I'm going? What am I doing physically? It's serious basic physics and physiology. What am I doing? How do I bring strength and force? Because we want both of those in our Xingyi practice. How do I bring strength and force to that movement? Well, I most certainly cannot do it if I'm off balance. And if I don't have a solid stance, I'm going to push myself off balance if I hit something. And if I'm not in good alignment, long list for the physical body. How do I do the movement? Well, we're doing Xingyi, so there's that. It's not Tai Chi, it's not Bagua, it's not Shaolin, it's Xingyi. That principle behind gives us the ability to start connecting what we're doing, physical movement, breath, physical breath, with the energy that belongs in the movement. We understand the principles behind this movement. We can start to apply those principles to the physical movement. What are those principles? Because they connect to both the movement that we're doing and the energy behind that movement. So we connect the movement with the energy behind, and we connect both of those through the principles that we're using for the art that we're practicing to end up with a movement that, oh, yeah, this is correct. That's how we refine what we're doing. Okay? Physical movement, internal work. All of those coming together. Each one. We look at it, we refine it, we combine it with everything else. We look at what's next that needs to be refined, and we refine that. We can do that with movement. Right now, yeah. How do we refine this movement? Which movement are we talking about? We're talking about what we've been practicing all week. Here we go. Up. All right. How do we refine that? Just a physical movement. How do we refine that? I'm here. I'm going to ask some questions. Slowly. I'm here. Where's my balance? Where's my placement? What's my direction? What am I expecting myself to be able to do? I know what this movement requires. It requires that I sink and that I bring my arms up and that I sink more so that I can extend the foot and that I have to jump and step through. Right here. What do I have to do? Just watch for a second. What do I have to do? I'm here. Sink, shift, up, down, jump, kick, down, and step through. Leg work. That's what my legs have to do. If my legs are prepared to do that, I don't have to think about it. I can think more about how much force I'm using to step. I can think more about how stable my lower body is and how well connected it is so that all of the strength that I have in my lower body can be brought through whatever it is I'm doing. Right? I don't have to think about where I'm going to put my foot. I don't have to think about this is the way I'm supposed to turn. At some point I did have to think about that. I had to refine the movement so that I didn't have to think about it anymore. Do it again. Right foot back, left foot front. Shift, sink, arms circle through the waist. Extend, down, up, down, step through. One, two, 3, 4. That sense of rhythm, that dynamic, and a 1, and a 2, and 3, 4, and step, go, right? That sense of rhythm is fundamental Xingyi stepping. Back to the very first class. Right? It carries through. If you're not familiar with Xingyi stepping methods, if you didn't look at the first class, you're looking at this now, you may not know. Step and close. Basic Xingyi, right? Step and close. That land, step, step through. If we know that's the rhythm that we carry through Xingyi, faster or slower, basic rhythm stays the same. We can apply that skill to how we move. Our timing, our placement. How do I get from point A to point B? Point A. Point B. How did I get there? I talked a lot about that in this class today. So, how did I get there? That idea, understanding that process, and then repeating it with practice. Let's do it again. One more time. Right foot back, left foot front. Nice and easy. Not too hard. Nice and easy. Ready? Sink, arms up, shift, heel, down on the left, jump, down on the right, step through. That repetition once we have this move, we start to bring, that's how you get it. That's how you get this move, is you repeat it. You do it again. And you do it again. And as you do that, you have to keep in mind what the art wants, what the art asks us to do. What's the core principle behind what we're doing? This is Xingyi, it's not Tai Chi. What's the core principle behind Tai Chi? What's the core principle behind Xingyi? They're different. Talked about that a bit. Bagua is different as well. The Ohabapa is also different. There are several other internal arts that have a principle that's different than what we do in Xingyi. It's different. I don't want my Xingyi to look like my Tai Chi. I don't. It's wrong. That's not, Tai Chi principle is not what we're doing in Xingyi. It's not. That sense of movement in Xingyi's 12 Animals, dragon, bear, bear has strength, dragon has flexibility. That comparison should be part of the movement. It's how we learn how to move. One more time. I'm going to take it back 3 more times. I'm going to turn around and go that way. Pay attention to, easy, nice and easy. Pay attention to the movement. And in the back of your mind, have this sense, have this idea that there's principles behind the movement. And what are you going to do with that? Right foot back, left foot front. Nice and easy. Again. Right foot back, left foot front. And go. One more time. Relax. The more you repeat, the easier it is for you to not have to think about what you're doing physically. That enables you to concentrate on all of these other things that we really want to pay attention to. Without that physical development, without paying attention to what you're doing in the movement itself, and how this art asks us to move, the movement won't ever be correct. If you take the basic fundamental principles, handful of them, seriously, and you drill down to the fundamentals, there's a handful of principles that we want to apply. When you do that, everything else follows through. The paradox is that We can't see these fundamental principles until we've been through all of these other things to get there. I didn't do that on purpose. It's the way that it is. That you have to see all of these things in order to be able to see what's common, what's the nature behind. What are we doing here? What's this move ask us to do? I'm going to stop here for today. This pattern, if you will, where we're going to introduce the movement, we're going to analyze the movement, and then we're going to look at refining the movement. I'm going to try and use this pattern beginning next week. I used it this week already and didn't say anything about it. I thought about how this was going, and it makes good sense. Each piece, these physical movements, I'm going to analyze it, and then we're going to refine it. That gives you the opportunity to learn piece by piece, bite-sized chunks, right? And then we can put it all back together, and when we put it all back together, it's going to be oh so much easier, because all of the movements will be familiar. All of the patterns will be familiar. The connections will be familiar. It's just going to be a longer sentence, right? 66 movements instead of 4 or 5. I hope you'll join me for all of that, and for Wudang Qigong on Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday. Thursday is the beginning set. On Friday, I have the advanced class. This was advanced class, by the way, just in case you hadn't noticed that. All right, so next week, more Xingyi. Next series, next movements in the series. Hope you'll join me. Thank you.